you. Random reading or a full read on this one? You wanted to do a full read? Maybe. This is Columbia University, Book 11, Shakespeare to Dryden. Let's do just a random one for now. Page 136, Thomas Champion. Dr. Thomas Champion, lyric poet, musician, and Doctor of Medicine, who, of the three liberal arts that he practiced, is remembered mainly now for his poetry, was born about the middle of the 16th century, the precise date and place being unknown. From an entry in the register of St. Dunstan's in the West, Fleet Street, London, we learn that Champion was buried there in February of 1620. He was admitted in 1586 at Gray's Inn, but from law he turned to medicine, took his MD at Cambridge, repaired to London, and began to practice as a physician, very successfully, as the names of some of his more distinguished patients show. A man of taste in the very finest sense, cultured, musical, urbane, his first book of poems was a collection of Latin epigrams, which appeared in 1595. There is the same sense of style in his Latin verse that one finds in his English lyrics, but though he had a pretty wit with a sufficient salt in it on occasion, his faculty was clearly more lyrical than epigrammatical. His earliest collection of these exquisite little poems in English was not issued under his own name, but under that of Philip Rossetter, the musician, who wrote the music for half the book, the other half being of Champion's own composition. This, the first of the delightful set of old music books, which are the only source we have to draw upon for his lyric poems, was published in 1601. There is no doubt that for many years previous to this, Champion had been in the habit of writing both the words and music of such songs for the private delectation of his friends and himself. Some of his very finest lyrics, as memorable as anything he has given us, appear in the first volume of 1601. The second collection of Champion songs was published this time under his own name, probably in 1613. It is entitled Two Books of Airs, A-I-R-S. The divine and moral songs include some of the finest examples of their kind in English literature. The second book, Light Conceits of Lovers, is very well described by its title. In 1617, two more, the third and fourth books of Airs, were published, containing many fine songs. His masques are among the prettiest of their kind, and has full of lyrical moments, has of picturesque effects. Champion remained in the limbo of forgotten poets until Professor Arber and A.H. Bullen in their different anthologies and editions rescued him for us. His fame, without doubt, is destined to grow steadily, based as it is on poems which so perfectly and exquisitely satisfy the lyric sense and the lyric relationship between music and poetry. Read a couple here. A hymn in praise of Neptune. Of Neptune's empire let us sing, of whose command the waves obey, to whom the rivers tribute pay. Down the high mountain sliding, to whom the scaly nation yields homage for the crystal fields wherein they dwell, and every sea god pays a gem yearly out of his watery cell to deck great Neptune's diadem. The Tritons dancing in a ring before his palace gates do make the water with their echoes quake, like the great thunder sounding. The sea nymphs chant their ancient shrills, and the sirens taught to kill with their sweet voice make every echoing rock reply unto their gentle murmuring noise the praise of Neptune's Empery, 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 of Corinna's singing. When to her lute Corinna sings, her voice revives the leaden strings, and doth the highest notes appear, has any challenged echo clear. But when the doth of morning speak, even when her sighs the strings do break, and as her lute doth live and die, led by her passions, so must I. For when of pleasure she doth sing, my thoughts enjoy a sudden spring. But if she do of sorrow speak, even from my heart the strings do break. From Divine and Moral Songs. Never weather-beaten sail more willing bent to shore, never tired pilgrim's limbs affected slumber more, than my weary despite now longs to fly out of my troubled breast. Oh, come quickly, sweetest Lord, and take my soul to rest. Ever blooming are the joys of heaven's high paradise. Cold age deafs not there our ears, nor vapor dims our eyes. Glory there the sun outshines, whose beams the blessed only see. Oh, come quickly, glorious Lord, and raise my sprite to thee. To a croquette, when thou must home to shades of underground, and there arrived a new admired guest, the beauteous spirits do engrit thee round, white Iop, blithe Helen, and the rest, to hear the stories of thy finished love, from that smooth tongue whose music hell can move. Then wilt thou speak of banqueting delights, of masque and revels which sweet youth did make, of tourneys and great challenges of knights, and all these triumphs for thy beauty's sake. When thou hast told these honors done to thee, then tell, oh tell, how thou didst murder me. From light conceits of lovers. We'll read this last one. You're welcome. Thank you. Do this for a second, the one where you pull your joints apart a little bit. It's one of my favorites I try to do every day. You just kind of gently pull. Just a little gentle, not tough at all. Forceful, just a gentle little like a zombie. Woo! From the light of conceits of lovers, where she her sacred bower adorns, the rivers clearly flow, the groves and meadows swell with flowers, the winds all gently blow. Her sun, like beauty, shines so fair, her spring can never fade. Who then can blame the life that strives to harbor in her shade? Her grace I sought, her love I wooed, her love though I obtain, no time, no toil, no vow, no faith, her wished grace can gain. Yet truth can tell my heart is hers, and her will I adore. And from that love when I depart, let heaven view me no more. Give beauty all her right, she's not to one from tide. She's not to one form tied. She's not to one form tied. It is formless. Each shape yields fair delight, where her perfections bide. Helen, I grant, might pleasing be, and Rosamond was as sweet as she. Some the quick eye commends, some swelling lips and red, pale looks have many friends, through sacred sweetness bred. Meadows have flowers that pleasures move, though roses are the flowers of love. Free beauty is not bound to one unmoved clime. She visits every ground and favors every time. Let the old loaves with mine compare. My sovereign is as sweet and fair. Next is William Drummond. That's a good one too. Goes into 1585. 1357, King Robert III. The beautiful Annabel Drummond. Oh, that's a good one. Can do that one later for class. Oh, reason and feeling. Oh, on the occasion. Oh, there's a bumblebee. We'll read this one for a special occasion. Hello. Good?
Hi.
Hey. You still hungry?
Just grabbing a snack.
How was the sandwich?
It was good.
Griddle thing. Got it? Awesome. Page 141, Reason and Feeling. I know that all beneath the moon decays, and what my mortals in this world is brought. In time's great periods shall return to naught, that fairest states have fatal nights and days. I know that all the muses' heavenly lays, with toil of spirit, which are so dearly bought, has idle sounds of few or none are sought, that there is nothing lighter than vain praise. I know feral beauty like the purple flower, to which one morn oft birth and death affords, that love a jarring of minds accords, where sense and will in vassal reason's power know what I list. All this cannot me move, but that at last I both must write and love. Little bumblebee. I I think it's the same one for about 3 days now. Just hangs outside the window for a little bit. Okay, we'll read one more. How about the universe? Of this fair volume which we, world, do name, if we the leaves and sheets could turn with care of him who it corrects and did it frame, we clear might read the art and wisdom rare, find out his power, which wildest powers doth tame, his providence extending everywhere, his justice, which proud rebels doth not spare, in every page and period of the same. But silly we, like foolish children, rest, well pleased with colored vellum, leaves of gold, fair dangling ribband,